10,000 years of culture.
いらっしゃいませ。大阪にようこそ。
718 AD, the Japanese offer sushi for the first time. 1800 AD, the Japanese create modern sushi. 1967, Las Vegas, Nevada. Sushi is perfected.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We're located at 4205 West Sahara Avenue. Or visit our Henderson location, just past Horizon Ridge.
Find the cure for Geritol Radio right here in Las Vegas.
The Sex and Money Show takes on cutting-edge topics, has the most interesting guests, and pursues timely topics.
The Sex and Money Show, perfect for Las Vegas and the world.
Join Len Connell for The Sex and Money Show.
Every weekday at high noon.
The Sex and Money Show.
I should pop sometimes, see me.
It's 12 o'clock, Las Vegas. Time for Sex and Money with Len Connell, Legal Eagle Miller, and Dr. Maurice Gregory, Dr. G.
Good afternoon, Las Vegas. The beginning of the NASCAR weekend here on the Sex and Money Show with me, Big Magic Al Jensen, sitting in for Len Connell, who is out there probably driving in NASCAR-type traffic up the I-15 today. Along with me in studio for the Legal Briefs edition today, Legal Eagle Miller. How in the world are you, my friend?
I'm fantastic. Especially after having to go over a little upskirt discussion off air. A little upskirt discussion off air.
A little upskirt discussion.
Man, I almost got ran over by one of those big diesels this past week coming through the parade, going out to the speedway.
Oh, yeah, on Wednesday evening,
I
believe.
that was fun. That was pretty cool. All those big trucks with all the company's logos. All the drivers' numbers and everything.
That's something to see, isn't it?
It was really cool. I'd never seen anything like that
Really?
before. I've never seen that before.
Well, I used to drive a shuttle bus on Las Vegas Boulevard, and we really dreaded the NASCAR weekend because the traffic was, some of the worst of the year.
And it's convention in town too, right? What Contractors? Is it the Contractors or construction convention?
Yeah.
It's They just call it the convention.
Contractors and construction.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And they've got all those big cranes out there and everything.
Lifts and all sorts of heavy equipment.
I stopped into this bar the other day, and one of the guys was talking to me, and he turns over, and everybody was a construction worker. This was near the Strip, and he turns to me and he says, "Wow, I went into the convention and it was really nice." And I really didn't catch what he was saying. He was explaining it as though it was like marble and just beautiful. Just I'm thinking I'm in Venice or something.
Sure.
And then I went, wait a minute. He goes, "Have you gotten over there?" And I'm wearing like a 3-piece suit, and I don't have any calluses. I've never really built anything. I built some shelves in I didn't even build them, actually. I just screwed them in. But nevertheless, and he looks at it, and I'm thinking, no, I quite don't exactly have a reason to get over to the convention.
Yeah.
And I don't need a crane.
Sure.
So no backhoes or anything like that. I wouldn't know where to park it, but
exactly. I drove by the convention center the last 2 days, both on Wednesday and Thursday, and the traffic is really tough over there, and all the big cranes and lifts and outdoor equipment, things of that nature.
That's what got me to stop.
Yeah.
I was stuck in traffic, and coming from a meeting, I was stuck in traffic, and I said, I can't take it anymore. I felt like I was back in Los Angeles, and I just pulled over to this little bar and decided to get something to eat. Because I'm not going to drink and drive or anything, and so I just got something to eat and a soda, and then drove out when the traffic died down, which it didn't. I just actually had to wait until a light caught all the traffic, and then I jumped out there. But yeah, so we've had an interesting week.
My goodness, it has been a very interesting week, especially in South Africa.
Yes. We've been covering, I brought to you on Monday's show the beginning of the Oscar Pistorius murder trial. And for those of you that don't know who Oscar Pistorius is, this is the Blade Runner. This is South Africa's hero,
from the 2012 Olympics.
And he's a double amputee.
The regular Olympics, right?
Yes, the regular Olympics, where he's the first double amputee to run. He won 6 gold medals in 2012. 2012. Well, in 2013 on Valentine's Day, he shot and killed his then model girlfriend to death, Reeva Steenkamp,
right,
through the bathroom door on Valentine's Day last year. And so the trial started on Monday, and boy, it has gotten off not a boring moment in this trial. I mean, we've got the defense counsel fighting with witnesses on the stand, throwing hand gestures out back and forth between the witnesses when they're no longer on the stand. The witnesses doing the same, making faces and remarks and comments. We've got we've got neighbors who are asserting the fact that they know they heard screams instead of him trying to break down the door. Now these are all things that have already been presented at trial. So none of these are my opinion.
Right. These are admitted into evidence.
Admitted into evidence by some witness or another. They've got the security guard that's come in, and he's told what time he got there, and that the Blade Runner, Pistorius, said everything's fine.
Sure.
He arrived, the security guard arrived while Pistorius was carrying his ex-girlfriend's or former girlfriend's body down the stairs. And I mean, man, I can only imagine that in a courtroom would hold a lot of weight, especially after, again, he alleges in his defense is that he thought she was an intruder.
Right.
And so I'm going to take two sides of this. One, if that in fact is the case, could you imagine shooting a loved one or your girlfriend or your husband or something that and then realizing what you had done, and now he's carrying her lifeless body down the stairs after having shot her? On the other side, I mean, it's like, well, geez, were you having a fight? Is this true? Isn't it? What happened? Is this a ploy? Is this a plot to appear as though you were really in shock or whatnot, and that sort of thing? It's just amazing little things that are happening in this trial right now.
So what does that mean? I mean, what is the prosecution or the defense? Who's trying to make what claim regarding him carrying her lifeless body down the stairs?
Well, no one's making a claim as of yet as to what that means, but it's basically what the jury, how they'll interpret it, how they'll interpret him carrying. They're trying to say that he was too calm. The prosecution is trying to say that he was too calm, cool, and collected, for the most part, to have been distraught. If you do something like this and it's an accident, you're supposed to be distraught and you're supposed to be just wailing and just, in shock and everything. Hey, again, that's possibly the case for many people. But then on the other side of it, you have people that are really calm and cool and collect under circumstances that are very, very horrendous.
Right.
I mean, my brother died. I had a younger brother who died while I was babysitting him when I was only maybe, I'd say, 14. And, everyone, they thought I was extremely calm for what had just happened, and I was. It was just something where I've always taken situations that most people probably would take them and be just outrageously distraught over it. My mother at the time, she collapsed. She couldn't walk. She couldn't talk. She was, overwhelmed. I, on the other hand, even though I was only 14, I was calm, cool, and collected. And had that been a situation where there was foul play argued or whether someone had suspected, would they have taken into consideration that I was calm, cool, and collected and thought, well, you're too calm, cool, and collected. You must not care. Well,
right.
I love my brother dearly. So that's something that juries have to take into account, and that's something that prosecution always says they try and paint a certain picture, and the defense has to come back and say, wait a minute, now that's not always the case. So again, I'm not on either. I still haven't come to any kind of real conclusions because this case is really taking some twists and some turns.
Sure. So we know that he has admitted to
shooting her,
and
killing
he claims
her.
That it was a tragic error.
Exactly.
After he mistook her for an intruder. So I would assume that perhaps the telephone call that he made to authorities, did he make a phone call saying a tragic accident has occurred, or was it just discovered when security showed up, or how was it discovered?
Yeah, well, from the information that I have, it was just the standard call for help.
So who made that call? Did he?
And it was my understanding that he did make a call.
Okay.
And, of course, time is of the essence, and they go, well, let's see, when did you make the call and how was it done? I believe there was a tracker or an alarm button or something set that he pushed or whatever with his community, that got the security to come through. And someone else may have also made a call as well after hearing the gunshots in the neighborhood, which alerted but they called security is actually what the case
Yeah,
was.
in fact, here CNBC or CNN rather reports that the defense said that it would show that Pistorius called security that night.
Yes.
Of course, I don't know if there's. I don't know what the proper procedure would be in that particular country or environment, but here, of course, we would call 911.
Well, you know what? And here I'm going to be the devil's advocate again. You see, when you live in a gated community, or you live in a community where I'll just name a few in Las Vegas: Spanish Trails, Canyon Gate. Any gated community where where the homes are millions of dollars, and once you get in that community, you're in a different world.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, everything is the speed limit is different, and you can't park here. You can't. Homeowners Association. You know, you get tickets. You get cited by the security in your gated communities.
Sure.
And so they are like the law. They are the law in those communities. And so if anything happens throughout the years, if you've been living in a gated community, or if you've been living within that kind of a compound, I should say, you're used to making that first call be your security. It's just how it is. It's like if you're in a hotel, the first thing you do whenever you need something, your first thought is to hit the 0 button, and what do you get? The hotel operator.
Right. Okay.
And then it's like, oh my God, something's going on, and the first thing the hotel operator does is call security. Well, I wouldn't say that his act of calling security first rather than calling the official police authorities has anything to say about that, because again, anything could happen in his community. Maybe a broken window, too much noise. The first thing you do in those type of situations is you call security. Now, we all know that we act out of habit on a lot of things.
Sure.
So I know we all would say, well, but this wasn't some kids playing some loud music. You just killed somebody. You know you'd call the police. Out of habit. I mean, who knows? Is his phone? I had a phone by my door that when you picked up the handle, it went nowhere but straight to the valet downstairs in my building. It was like when I walked out the door, I picked up the thing, and it rang nowhere but the front desk, and I'd say, "Are you ready for your car?" I mean, so who knows? Maybe this is a situation where, in his head, the first thing he could think of was he picked up his phone, maybe it went straight to security. Or he picked up his phone, pressed the 0 because it's linked to the security system.
Okay,
who knows?
I'll buy that.
So there's a number of reasons why he may have made that call first.
Do we know if that call was recorded?
Before, I don't. And I would guess that it probably was recorded, but you wouldn't know. It's a private security company, so it's not like it's required to be or anything.
Sure.
So, but that, so like I said, again, I'm playing the devil's advocate, and I'm throwing that out there as some possible reasons why that was done, as opposed to initially calling the police. Let's face it. Let's be honest. If we were in, let's flip this on the other side. Now we're no longer in a really exclusive, rich neighborhood. Now we're in a really poor neighborhood. Let's say traditionally Latin or black or whatever. Something goes down in a really poor neighborhood, they don't call the police either. They don't want to see the police.
Okay.
I mean, odds are they're like, no, I'm going to handle this myself.
We'll just take care of this.
It's going to take them 2 hours to get here anyway. I got to do something. I can't rely on Metro to be here to protect my family. So, we can look at it a lot of different ways, I think.
I guess if I were on the jury, I would be interested in hearing. If I were in the jury, I would be interested in hearing that particular initial conversation between Oscar, the Blade Runner, and security, to hear the tone, the demeanor, to hear what his voice said beyond the words that he used to convey, his emotion.
See how he was, but then again, that goes back again to what I said. Just by hearing how he sounded on that phone, whether he sounded distraught or calm, cool, and collected, in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Okay, well, you'd be a good defense attorney then, wouldn't you?
So, I mean, and again, I know I often play the devil's advocate, but a lot of times, like in the other matter we were talking about last week with the loud music shooting, I came right out and I said, oh, this is what I think, and I think that's BS and this and that. I'm not always going to be where you think I'm going to be on a matter. You know what? Next week I might come out after hearing more of this trial and seeing more testimony and say, he's done for.
Yeah.
Well,
so let's wait. Let's wait and listen to a little more of the testimony and then see where it goes. We've got to go to our first break. You're listening to the Legal Briefs edition of the Sex and Money Show on KLAV AM 1230, the Talk of Las Vegas. We'll be back right after these messages.
I'm Manhattan Miller, and I'm what happens in Vegas. From Paris to London, New York to Las Vegas, whether I'm out on the town or at home with your significant other, two things are for sure. I'm old school Vegas, and I always drink Frankovich Manhattans, handcrafted in micro batches by Frankovich Distillers, Reno, Nevada. Enjoy Frankovich Manhattan cocktails responsibly. Available now at select Costco, Total Wine, and Walmart stores.
I'm a bad boy.
Good people get arrested.
That is true.
They took you to jail.
Now what do?
890-30 bail bonds will be there for you.
Call us at 702-648-2663. That's 648-BOND.
You've been a very bad girl.
Hello, I'm Miller. You may know me as the Legal Eagle and Judge Miller of the Legal Brief on KLAV, or even Manhattan Miller on the Happy Hour. But I'm not here to talk about legal issues or the Vegas nightlife. I want to talk to you about something much more important, life insurance. I heard an amazing statistic the other day. According to the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, an alarming 62% of people who own life insurance don't know what they have or why they bought it. This is something I discovered after having my own mother's life insurance policy reviewed. Bill Klingon, the president of Macro Wealth Integration, will provide a free, no-obligation, complimentary review of your life insurance policy. With 38 years of experience, plus a relationship with top insurance companies, Bill will provide a documented analysis of your coverage and explain it all to you, so you can be sure that everything is in order. You can get your free life insurance policy review by simply calling Bill at 462-2581. That's 462-2581. Or you can Google him under Macro Wealth Integration. In any case, be sure that you are not one of the 62%.
The Cool Trade, the next generation of automated stock trading. Cool Trade is a 100% point-and-click robotic trading system. Cool Trade levels the playing field and allows you to trade at home the same way as the traders at major financial institutions. Don't worry, our software is easy to learn and easy to use. No one can predict what stocks will do, but we do know that they'll go up and down. Cool Trade is designed to trade the market for you and has the ability to make profits either way. Whether you're new to online investing, an experienced investor, or an active trader, Cool Trade is all you need to succeed. It's time to regain confidence in the market and join the robotic trading revolution. Take action today.
Call M&A Legal Management at 888-449-5841 or visit us online at www.anybodytrade.com.
Cool Trader Pro and Cool Trade do not make, buy, sell, or hold recommendations. Unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. Cool Trader Pro and Cool Trade are software-related companies and are not licensed broker-dealers. Investing in the stock market can be considered high risk, and participants should consult with their financial advisors regarding risk and suitability.
And now, your sexy traffic report on the Sex and Money Show.
All right, here is your traffic report. We have an accident on Koval Lane at Sands Avenue. Accident I-15 northbound at Charleston. We have an accident on Charleston and Maryland Parkway. And the typical slowing on the I-15, and that's only going to get worse as NASCAR weekend continues. That is your Sex and Money Show traffic report, brought to you by Osaka Japanese Bistro.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, we are the first authentic Japanese bistro established in 1967.
Enjoy a fine evening of jazz at Osaka Japanese Bistro's Henderson location, featuring the Naked Fish Band, offering 3 fine dining experiences, choosing from the sushi bar, the teppanyaki grill, and traditional tatami rooms, all at the same location.
Any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We are located at 10920 Southeastern Avenue, just past Horizon Ridge. Or visit our original location on West Sahara next to the Statue of Liberty.
We're back. The Legal Briefs edition on the Sex and Money Show, KLAV AM 1230. The talk of Las Vegas with me, Big Magic Al Jensen, sitting in for Len Connell, who's out there driving around in traffic somewhere, along with Legal Eagle Miller. So, Miller, always great to be in studio with you on a Friday afternoon.
Oh, it is fantastic. And the weather's out there is really nice.
It is, a
nice
little bit breezy,
yeah,
but that's
cool,
not
though.
too bad. It's, compared to the rest of the country, it's pretty good. Although I understand the Midwest and South states have come out of their deep freeze, and it's not too bad. My cousin reports that she's on her way to St. Louis, Missouri from northeast Iowa, and that it's spring-like conditions in Missouri right now.
Oh, that's good. That's a big change, though, right?
Oh, big change.
Major change.
Just last week I got in trouble because my cousin who lives in Waterloo, Iowa, northeast Iowa, works for the John Deere Tractor Works. She posted a picture right out her front door, and you couldn't see anything. It was just all white.
White.
Snow in her front yard, 4 feet deep, snow in the streets, 6-8 feet high, piled up in the sides, and it was just all white, and it was just horrible. And she posted the picture and said, "Out my front door." So I went and took a picture and posted out my back door. When it was 75 degrees and sunny in the Las Vegas skyline, and I posted it and said, "Out my back door."
Is she your big sister?
No, it's my cousin.
Your cousin. Your cousin.
And she knows my sense of humor. She didn't have a problem. But one of her friends on Facebook posted, "I don't know who you are, but that is not funny."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, it really kind of is."
Oh, man.
You don't like living in that snow. We still have room here in Vegas, so come on out.
I accidentally did. Well, I posted something on purpose, but I got the same response you did. I was sitting outside the back. I was having breakfast, and my back view points out to some big waterfalls and fountains and things like that, and the birds and the greenery. And I forget what I'm not going to say what hole, but nevertheless, I'm not going to say what hole. But it was just gorgeous, and I was sitting outside. I was having breakfast, having coffee and juice, and I was smoking a cigar, and I just couldn't resist. I hardly ever use my camera phone, the phone on my camera.
Sure.
And I just took this picture on my phone, and I looked at it, and it was so nice, and I posted it.
I remember seeing that.
And
yes,
then I got some flack for that. I did get a little flack from that for some people back in the Midwest and in the East going, "What are you doing? What are you kidding me? What are you teasing us?" You know.
You know what? It's all about choices. If you don't like the choice you made to live in Iowa, then get out.
Or get out when you know the weather's going to be bad. And
exactly.
What do they call them? Snowbirds?
Yep, exactly. And
like a snowbird.
My in-laws do that. They have a home in Minnesota where they grew up and lived their entire life. But come November 1st, they start driving down to Phoenix. And they just outside of Phoenix in one of those retirement communities. And they stay there until April.
There you go.
So, they don't complain about it. They know that, hey, it's going to get cold in the Midwest in the wintertime.
I'm going to, speaking of getting cold and whatnot, there's a really, really cold feeling from an 18-year-old girl out of New Jersey who's suing her parents.
That's right, in New Jersey.
New Jersey. She is Rachel Canning. She's an 18-year-old from New Jersey, has sued now, and I have to let our listeners know whenever we say, I always say this. You can sue someone for anything. It doesn't mean your case is not going to get thrown out.
It doesn't mean you're going to be hurt or
you're
going to win.
Hurt or you're going to win.
Or even if you win, if you're going to collect.
Exactly, and that's the biggie there. Winning is sometimes winning is most times winning is only half the battle, and a lot of times winning can be very easy. It's just collecting is oftentimes the
compared
problem.
To collecting, right?
Exactly, and so in this particular incident, and it's not an incident, but Rachel Canning, she's 18. She's been going to private school. Her parents are, her father was a police chief. They were middle of the road, pretty much family, but paying for her private school. She was doing good. She was doing well. She started acting out a little bit. They decided, you know what, you're going to act out. We're not going to pay for this private high school education. We're going to, we're going to send you over to public school. I hate to say that was her punishment, going to a public school.
There's trade-offs. There's consequences.
But there's consequences. And then she kept on going, and they said, well, you know what, forget about it. We've worked our butts off to try and save a lot of money to put you in the good schools and to put you. We're not going to pay for your college education. You're 18. You're going to be 18. Right. The law says you're going to have to fend for yourself anyway. Well, what did she do? She filed a lawsuit. She put that in a formal complaint and went down to the courthouse and stamped it at the clerks and sued them and saying they're responsible for paying for her education. Ooh, got a lot of questions on that one. A lot of parents with the ears open right now going, where is this guy? This one does not have any legs. Has no legs. It's making news because it has no legs. You're either going to make news because it's sensational and maybe there's some point, something valid there. But in this particular circumstance, some would argue, some would say, well, did they tell her that they were going to pay? They had a contract with her. Maybe it was an oral agreement. Well, if she wasn't 18, she can't. Well, you can't sign or
you can't be party
to a legal agreement. And by the way, guess what? If you're under 18, can you be party to it? Yeah, you'd have to have your parents sign. And then if your parents sign, these are the very people that are basically getting sued.
Yeah.
So obviously they're not going to say, yeah, we had an agreement with her that we were going to pay for this, right?
Exactly.
So basically what this is going to boil out to is she's going to get a hard lesson. And it reminds me of, I was watching a show, and there were some children on the show that there were some children on the show that were being really bad, and it was one of those reality shows, and the mom's going, the girl's throwing a tantrum, and she's going, listen, you get over here.
We promised we would never talk about Honey Boo Boo on this show again.
It wasn't Honey Boo Boo, actually. It wasn't Honey Boo Boo. It was another young girl.
Another reality
show. Yeah, right? There's only one.
Was this the Kardashians?
No, it was.
Kardashians?
You know what? And I'll be honest, the reason I don't know the name of it is because it wasn't one of the big ones.
Oh, okay.
It was I just happened to see it, and I saw the girl throwing a tantrum, and the mother's like, sit over there, and then she throws some fruit at the mother, and then she goes, no, stop doing that, and then she throws something else. And you know what? Honestly, I would have told the cameras, hey, turn the cameras off, turn the recording off. No, matter of fact, get off of my property. I got some business to handle.
Right.
Because I think children, they just go too far thinking, well, Mom's not going to spank me because it's on camera, and then she's going to get in trouble. And then they just go out and wild out, as they say. Not in my house. Not going to happen. Didn't happen with me. And, I'm going to rush to get off the air because if I'm late picking up my mother from the hospital, she's going to spank me, and I'm 37 years old. So, I mean,
I know your mother, and I know she would do that.
Yes. Where these kids get off suing for this, to go to Yale or Harvard or wherever it is, listen, work your way. If you can't just follow a few rules, like get in by 10, do your homework, don't talk back. If you can't do that, how do you think you're ever going to work in an office or work wherever you plan on working when you do go to school? You got to put up with a whole lot more from other people than you ever had to put up with your parents.
Yep.
And other people don't care about you. So
exactly.
She got to learn her lesson this way. So Judge Miller is throwing this case out on his merit, but not before he gives Rachel Canning a long sermon that she must sit in my courtroom and listen to or be held in contempt. And because she's 18, young lady, if you get held in contempt, you're going to the pokey.
Oh, yeah.
Simple as that. So get this case out of here.
Well, and that's exactly what the judge in the case did. The judge in the case threw it out and said, you know what, there's no legs. But just a couple of states to the north of New Jersey.
Oh, no.
There's more things going on in Massachusetts.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Are we talking about...
the Peeping Tom law.
The Peeping Tom.
Yeah.
Upskirt photos.
Yeah, upskirt photos, because apparently someone, I don't know who, was it on a subway or was it?
He was on a subway.
Public transportation.
Taking pictures, just snapping away.
Snapping what they call upskirt photos. And somebody complained about it, and he said, what law am I breaking?
Yeah, no law.
And come to find out, he wasn't breaking a law.
Wasn't breaking the law. So they had to create one. And make that a crime.
Now, I find this kind of interesting because Governor Patrick signed a bill Friday that was fast-tracked through the state legislature, which took 2 days after the state's high court ruled that a man who took cell phone photos on the Boston subway did not violate state laws. So they got a bill through the state legislature and passed in 48 hours?
And see, they shouldn't have done that so fast, because now what that's going to do is that's going to make everybody in Massachusetts, all those lawmakers in Massachusetts, rush on every bill. And now that we know they can get it passed in 48 hours.
Well, now we know they can do it.
Now we know they can do it. Guess what?
Yeah.
We expect it. Matter of fact, we expect them to pass something else really good, and maybe even shoot down the Affordable Health Care Act in that state in the next 48 hours. But we'll find out when we come back from our half-hour break.
So you think that's a possibility, huh?
Hey, they can move that fast. They can make some decisions. 48 hours. Okay, we'll give them 72.
Okay, give them 3 days instead, because there's a weekend in there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we will then go to our halfway break. You're listening to the Legal Briefs edition of the Sex and Money Show, KLAV AM 1230, the Talk of Las Vegas. Stick with us. We'll be back right after these messages.
I'm Manhattan Miller, and I'm what happens in Vegas. From Paris to London, New York to Las Vegas, whether I'm out on the town or at home with your significant other, 2 things are for sure. I'm old school Vegas, and I always drink Frankovich Manhattans, handcrafted in micro batches by Frankovich Distillers, Reno, Nevada. Enjoy Frankovich Manhattan cocktails responsibly. Available now at select Costco, Total Wine, and Walmart stores.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm logging on to the Vegas AllNet Radio website to hear last week's episode of The Sex and Money Show.
Ooh, hear past episodes of The Sex and Money Show, Mondays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. to 11.
Wasn't last week's episode good?
It was so good.
The Sex and Money Show rebroadcast, streaming on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
When faced with a legal matter, contact Legal Solutions to You. We are a multi-state network of the top attorneys available, specializing in a wide range of services, including
personal injury, immigration, bankruptcy, criminal matters, business matters, and many more.
Quality legal representation is essential. Our goal is to provide the best legal representation available.
Stop being a victim.
Call us toll-free 855-775-2928. That's 855-77-LAW-TO-YOU. Or visit us online at legalsolutions2you.com.
Julia Sarah Boutique for the best in upscale fashions at affordable prices. Choose from a wide selection of dresses, gowns, jackets, boots, shoes, and more. Ladies and gentlemen's fashions available. Whatever your personal style, Julia Sarah Boutique has everything you need to look your best. Call 888-449-5841 or like us on Facebook for special promotions and invitations.
Hi, I'm Noah, host of the Legal Brief segment of the Sex and Money Show, where we will discuss the law of the land in a sexy, in-your-face manner.
Controversy with a Y, and he doesn't pull any punches.
From high noon to 1 p.m. on the Sex and Money Show.
Hey, what's the weather for the weekend gonna be? Will it be hot, cold, rain, snow?
And now, your sexy weather report on the Sex and Money Show.
All right, Las Vegas, here is your Sex and Money Show weather report for NASCAR weekend. Right now, we're looking at 66 degrees, shooting for a high of 69 with mostly sunny skies. Overnight low, 50 degrees. Tomorrow, 70 degrees, mostly sunny. NASCAR Sunday for the big race, high of 73, mostly cloudy. Overnight low, 49. We're looking at 76 on Monday and 70 on Tuesday with overnight lows around 50. Light and variable winds out of the southeast for the most part. So it's a beautiful time here in Las Vegas. That is your Sex and Money Show weather report, brought to you by Osaka Japanese Bistro.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, we are the first authentic Japanese bistro established in 1967.
Enjoy a fine evening of jazz at Osaka Japanese Bistro's Henderson location, featuring the Naked Fish Band, offering 3 fine dining experiences, choosing from the sushi bar, the teppanyaki grill, and traditional tatami rooms, all at the same location.
Any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We are located at 10920 Southeastern Avenue, just past Horizon Ridge. Or visit our original location on West Sahara next to the Statue of Liberty.
All right, we are back on the Legal Briefs edition, the Sex and Money Show. With me, Big Magic Al Jensen, sitting in for Len Connell, who's out there navigating the traffic around Las Vegas. In studio with me today, Legal Eagle Miller. How in the world are you today, Miller?
Oh, man, I'm just busier than a one-legged man in a you-know-what kicking contest.
In a what kind of? In a butt-kicking contest.
My grandmother used to say that. Okay, we can say that?
We can say butt-kicking contest.
Okay, my grandmother, I know we can say butt, but the real punchline is that, I keep forgetting
we can actually
ass.
say that, yeah. You can say ass-kicking contest.
Ass. Okay, anyway, so
there are other words that you cannot use in connection with that.
It, right?
But.
So I'm going to keep my promises, and I wanted to actually say hello to Charisse B. over at Guest Services at Target.
Charisse at Target.
Yes,
excellent.
she's over at Target. Help me out. My office smells really great now because I have one of these not candles, but it burns these oils with a light. Like
Okay.
one of these. I'm not even going to say it because it's not that company, but it's a nice little vase with a light in it, and then you put this oil on it.
The thing had to cost more than $20 because you call it a
Infuser.
vase.
Yeah, I didn't get a vase over at Target,
if
right?
if you buy it for $3.98, it's a vase.
It's a vase. If
over
you buy
$20,
it for,
it's a vase.
then it's a vase, right?
Yeah.
So, this one isn't a vase, so I can tell you that. But it was great, and I had a little problem with the first one that I got, and I didn't. Let me tell you, she helped me out in replacing it, and so I mentioned to Sharice. I said, Sharice, you know what? I'm going to let everybody know that they've got the best guest services over there at that Target at Boca Park. So
really, Target. Yes. At Boca Park,
Park, right there. What is it, on Rampart in Charleston?
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it is.
yeah.
Right there. So if you guys have any problems, go over there and see Sharice over at Guest Services. She will take care of you, and they take care of their people over there at that Target. So moving right along.
Well, can I add to that? Because you had a very good situation, a good outcome with someone at Target. I got to do a shout out to a friend as well in a retail situation.
It's not the pizza guy, right?
No, it's not the pizza guy. but I'll be happy to go back and bash him if you want to. But I want to talk about Priscilla over at DXL. Now, DSL stands for Destination XL. Okay, that's where us fat guys go to buy our clothes. All right, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. I can't.
Oh, extra large.
Yeah, exactly. Destination XL.
Oh, it took a while.
Okay,
it went right over
your
my
head. So I can't go to Target, Walmart, any place like that and buy clothes because they just don't make them this big. I could go to Las Vegas Tent and Awning, but then there's a whole surcharge thing going on there. But Priscilla at DXL. So
and where are they located?
They're over on Paradise and Flamingo.
And I've seen them. That's why
just
it looks
behind
familiar.
the PF Chang's over there.
That's why it looks familiar. It sounds familiar.
Great store. I go over there. They have a wide selection. I went in to buy a pair of jeans the other day, and Priscilla says, happy to take care of you. Here's a jeans. Here's a shirt. Took care of the transaction. I said, by the way, I was in here a few months ago, bought a pair of jeans, and the riveted button just busted right off. I've only worn them like 5 or 6 times. She says, bring it back in. We'll have our tailor fix it.
Got a little Nordstrom's action going on over there.
So I said, okay, very good. So I brought them back in, and Priscilla happened not to be there, but another gentleman at the counter says, I got to be honest with you, that's just not repairable. Our tailor can't fix that. But come over here, we'll find another pair and that you're happy with, and we'll just make an exchange.
Wow.
So he looked up on the computer, found what I paid for those jeans. The new ones cost about $25 more. He said, you know what? You're a very good customer. I see here that you shop here frequently.
Wow.
Just go right ahead. We're not even going to not even going to worry about it. There
no
you go.
Hassles,
take it out.
nothing.
No hassles, not a thing.
He didn't want you to check with Priscilla. He didn't say, let me call her. And this is good stuff. See, that's customer service.
That is good customer service.
That's old school Vegas customer service right there.
You got it. Number one, because it's extra big, you got to pay extra money for it. So it's not cheap to shop there.
I'm in that industry.
And they have some high-end goods.
Beautiful.
They have some Robert Graham. In fact, I purchased all my Robert Graham.
Lynn, our president, are you hearing this? Do you know where to go now to get squared away with your good-looking clothes? Because I got to get you squared away, so now we know where to send you.
So exactly. They have great help over there, great customer service, great situation. So Priscilla and the rest of the staff at DXL, Destination Extra Large, over on Paradise, just south of Flamingo. Top-notch Nordstrom type service there.
Well, I'll swim in those clothes, but I'm gonna take Lynn over there, and I'm gonna dress him. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna look for Priscilla. Say, Priscilla, hey, I'm coming in with our president of Sam Group here, and I'm gonna dress him.
Dress him up,
and we're gonna dress him up and get him squared away.
Great stuff in there.
So we're on this thanking everybody thing here. So I'm gonna jump right back over. Aside from the fact that my office is smelling good, but it's looking good because of the furniture that came over from Las Vegas assembly team.
Really?
And yes, they did something like the Massachusetts lawmakers. They got it over to me within hours of ordering it. It wasn't. I saw it at like 9 in the morning, and they had it to me at like 2:00 that same day.
Well, they wanted to do it before you changed your mind,
and that's what they wanted to do
before you realized how much you spent on all that stuff.
Right. Well, Albert is over there, and they're at LasVegasAssemblyTeam.com.
Okay.
And they are a local company. They're over at 3401 West Sirius Avenue. And that's at I think it's Vegas Valley View. Valley View and Sirius right there. So they're good people over there. And of course, take care of I got to take care of my mom. I gotta go get her. She's in the doctor's office, so I'm gonna leave the studio today and take care of her.
Pre-surgical procedure.
But as I'm sure you've heard, the new spots that have been running for Macro Wealth Integration, and of
Right.
course Bill Klingen, our resident insurance specialist over at Macro Wealth Integration, who will give you a free complimentary review of your policy to make sure, because a lot of people get their policies like years and years ago, and things change.
Things change. Your
Things
personal
change in the law,
circumstances or law,
and they send us these notices. How many of you out there, including myself, because this happened to me, I buy an insurance policy or something, even it happens with your bank accounts, and for the next however many years, every time you get your statement, there's that little bitty writing at the bottom that says they changed something, and then they send you this 50-page prospectus package
who's gonna read
that says we're having a board meeting of the board of shareholders
in Pittsburgh on the second Tuesday of October,
and then after that meeting, all your coverage changed because
Right.
here's what we changed, and who reads it? So what Bill's going to do...
even if you read it, how can you understand it?
Right, exactly. So what Bill's going to do is he's going to take your policy, read it for free, review it for free, and tell you where you're getting screwed, and tell you how you can fix it and make sure you're all squared away.
And let's be honest, sometimes they're not necessarily out to screw you, but your beneficiary changes.
Right, something changes.
So the beneficiary, the person that the money was supposed to go to in case of your death, that person is no longer favored with the family, has been divorced from the family, or has passed away. And if you don't change that, then instead of it going tax free to the beneficiary, it goes into the estate, and then everybody fights over it. Maybe Uncle Sam gets his cut out of it.
Maybe when you got your policy 20 years ago, you hadn't even fathomed long-term health care or something like that. I mean, these are things that come up.
Or you didn't have any children, and you made your brother the beneficiary.
Exactly.
And now you want to make it for the kids.
So Bill Klingen over at Macro Wealth Integration will help you out. You can Google Macro Wealth Integration. He's the foremost person in that topic, and he's also can be reached at 702-462-2581. That's 702-462-2581.
Right, he was on the show this past Monday, and we had a nice conversation about long-term care insurance, the fact that it's very, very expensive these days to provide care for aging parents, aging family members.
And people are forgetting.
Oh,
they're forgetting with affordable health care. People are forgetting. Everybody's eyes is on the affordable health care, and they're failing to remember.
Health care is one thing, but long-term care
is completely different.
Exactly.
It's a whole nother animal.
If your mother, and I'm not picking on your mother, anybody's mother, father, gets to the point in life where they're having a little difficulty in dressing or in preparing their own meals or providing for their own, sanitary care.
I'll tell you.
You need a little help. I mean, that stuff's expensive.
Well, I'll tell you right now, my mother's got long-term care covered because she's got 2 boys, and what the government or the insurance policy isn't going to pick up, is right here, coming right back to me. So that's for sure. Hey, she changed my diapers for so many years. I have no problem changing hers. So not that she wear. Mom, I know, Mom. Oh, you don't wear them. I know you don't have to worry about that. I'm not saying you wear them, which she doesn't. But I'm saying, God forbid, if it happens, hey, I'm there.
Well, let's be realistic. I mean, we're all getting older. We're all a day older than we were yesterday, and it happens to all of us. And while we're not looking forward to it, it's a reality.
The only benefit in whoever's going to be changing my diapers when I get older is that it's just going to be alcohol wipe swab. So that's all they're going to have to worry about. It's just going to be like they can just turn on the fan and it'll be just.
Okay, let's record this and let's put this in a time capsule and play this back in 30 years.
Yeah, it'll be nothing but Manhattan. That's all. Manhattan's coming out in Sex Vodka or something like that. But nevertheless, moving right along and jumping on this, I just wanted to point on something here and give some information that just came out in the media. Back in 2012, there was a jet ski collision that took the life of Kyle Glover and injured a 15-year-old girl. And Glover was the stepson of Usher, the celebrity, the star, the singer. He was a stepson. Well,
not the guy at the theater.
Not the guy at the theater. No, not that guy.
The singer.
Exactly, the singer Usher. Well, the man who did it has just been sentenced to 4 years in prison, and with 15 years on probation after he serves his term. And he was a Georgia jury found Jeffrey Simon Hubbard guilty of homicide by vessel as a result of that 2012 jet ski collision that took the life of Kyle Glover and seriously injured the 15-year-old girl. He was also found guilty, of course, of serious injury by vessel, unlawful operation of a personal watercraft, and a boat traffic violation. So I just wanted to give you that breaking news and see where that takes us. So be careful on the waters. The summer's coming up. We're getting spring weather.
You know what? Speaking of spring coming up and summertime coming up, daylight savings time begins this Sunday at 2 a.m. So your clocks go forward 1 hour when you go to bed Saturday night.
But we're still on at the same time.
Yes, we are still on the same time. We have to go to our final break. You're listening to the Sex and Money Show on KLAV AM 1230, the Talk of Las Vegas. Back after these commercial messages.
Hello, I'm Miller. You may know me as the Legal Eagle and Judge Miller of the Legal Brief on KLAV, or even Manhattan Miller on the Happy Hour. But I'm not here to talk about legal issues or the Vegas nightlife. I want to talk to you about something much more important, life insurance. I heard an amazing statistic the other day. According to the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, an alarming 62% of people who own life insurance don't know what they have or why they bought it. This is something I discovered after having my own mother's life insurance policy reviewed. Bill Klingen, the president of Macro Wealth Integration, will provide a free, no-obligation, complimentary review of your life insurance policy. With 38 years of experience, plus a relationship with top insurance companies, Bill will provide a documented analysis of your coverage and explain it all to you so you can be sure that everything is in order. You can get your free life insurance policy review by simply calling Bill at 462-2581. That's 462-2581. Or you can Google him under Macro Wealth Integration. In any case, be sure that you are not one of the 62%. I'm Manhattan Miller, and I'm what happens in Vegas. From Paris to London, New York to Las Vegas, whether I'm out on the town or at home with your significant other, two things are for sure. I'm old school Vegas, and I always drink Frankovich Manhattans, handcrafted in micro batches by Frankovich Distillers, Reno, Nevada. Enjoy Frankovich Manhattan cocktails responsibly. Available now at select Costco, Total Wine, and Walmart stores. Hi, I'm Miller of M&A Legal Management. We are committed to providing high-quality services and customer satisfaction.
M&A Legal Management provides business concierge-level services, combining all the unique services of executive representative, personal assistant, personal agent, and more.
Business startup packages beginning at $49. We do patents, trademarks, divorces, and court filings too, and customized legal research starting at our $19.99 hourly rate.
We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. Call M&A Legal Management at 888-449-5841 or visit us online at www.localbusinessservices.us.
At Your Service Cleaning Services is a family-owned business,
providing you the best in punctual, thorough, and respectful residential and commercial cleaning services.
Our staff is uniformed, licensed, and bonded. We are able to provide rust services, and we supply all cleaning materials and equipment.
Call 888-449-5841. That's 888-449-5841.
And now, your sexy traffic report on the Sex and Money Show.
Hey, this is Primetime here with your 12:30 a.m. KLAV traffic. Right now, there's road construction on Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard, as well as an accident on I-15 southbound at Russell. Another accident on Maryland Parkway and Sahara Avenue, as well as slow-moving traffic where I-15 southbound and northbound at the Spaghetti Bowl. Remember, your KLAV 12:30 a.m. traffic was brought to you by Osaka's Japanese Bistro.
Hi, I'm Gene Nakanishi, owner of Osaka Japanese Bistro. For the best authentic Japanese cuisine, we are the first authentic Japanese bistro established in 1967.
Enjoy a fine evening of jazz at Osaka Japanese Bistro's Henderson location, featuring the Naked Fish Band, offering 3 fine dining experiences, choosing from the sushi bar, the teppanyaki grill, and traditional tatami rooms, all at the same location.
Any dish you find in Japan, you can find it at Osaka. We are located at 10920 Southeastern Avenue, just past Horizon Ridge. Or visit our original location on West Sahara next to the Statue of Liberty.
We're back on the Sex and Money Show, the Legal Briefs edition here on KLAV AM 1230, the Talk of Las Vegas, with me, Big Magic Al Jensen, sitting in for Len Connell. Along with me in studio today, Legal Eagle Miller. Miller, what's news in your world?
Oh, you know what? I know people sometimes get bored with the legal stuff, but I just wanted to say there's nothing new. There's just nothing new. Everything is legal. If you turn on the news, you know, are we going to have World War III? Are we going to be going over to Russia and fighting with Putin and trying to keep him from annexing what is it?
Ukraine.
The Ukraine. I mean,
yeah, the Crimean Peninsula.
You know, this is quite similar to what got us. If we get involved in this, in my opinion, this is quite similar to what got us in Iraq.
Yeah.
I mean, our first President Bush, of course, was asked to just aid in preventing Saddam Hussein from going into, Saudi Arabia and all these other, these small little peninsulas or whatever you want to call it.
And what year was that?
Oh gosh, what was that? That was 15 years ago, wasn't it?
At least
15 years ago. And we did just that. And of course, it's a similar situation, but I know I'm going to get flack for this. I have some respect for what President Bush used to call our second Bush 2 used to call him Pooty Poot. Is actually Pooty Poot was the term that
for Vladimir Putin.
For Vladimir Putin, that's what, and it wasn't a negative term. It wasn't. I mean, they actually got along, but Putin and Obama, not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
I mean, every time you see them meeting, they just look like school kids about to fight over the same ball or something. But I've got to have some respect for Vladimir Putin, and that respect comes from, I know I'm going to get it for this, that respect comes from the fact that he doesn't roll over just because. I mean, America, we have our beliefs, and we didn't necessarily annex Hawaii or anything, you know what I mean? We didn't, but I can see his side of it as well, So I'm not your political commentator. I'm going to stick with the law side of it. So in keeping with that, the law part of it, this is what I have a problem with.
Okay.
It was reported that should the U.S. intervene, Russia would seize all U.S. assets within Russia. Now, what that means is Joe Schmo or Manhattan Miller, I've got a business in Russia. And just because something goes down, you're going to seize my business? It has nothing to do with America.
Exactly.
That's where I draw my line and get upset. Don't touch the businesses that are in your country, even though they're maybe owned by an American or something of that nature, that, by the way, helps your economy, just because you're trying to, piss off Obama or show Obama up or whatever. So that's where I step in and say, wait a minute, ixnay on that idea.
All right. Well, you know what? We've got Pulse on Politics coming up in a little bit. We'll let them deal with those issues. I got one last legal issue I want to bring up to you, and that is the Supreme Court of Canada. You know where that is, the Great White North, eh?
Canada?
They found a Nova Scotia man guilty of sexual assault for poking holes in his condoms before having consensual sex with his girlfriend in order to try to make her pregnant.
Talk about a flip. Wow. I mean, really? That, I don't think that's happening so much. Canadians they've always been a different bunch up there.
That's true. I mean, but you know what? He was found guilty of sexual assault.
Assault by sperm.
The country's top court upheld that he did commit sexual assault. So
now, do we know
there you have it.
If there's been a child born as a result of this?
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, then he's got more of a problem. He's got to pay some bills.
You're absolutely right.
Thanks for stopping by.
All right, thanks for stopping by. The Legal Briefs edition of the Sex and Money Show today with me, Big Magic Al Jensen, and in studio, Legal Eagle Miller. Stick around. Coming up right after this show, Pulse on Politics with Christine DeCourt. If you missed any of today's Sex and Money Show, don't despair. You can check in tonight on Vegas All-Net Radio at 10 p.m. and get a complete and full replay, and also listen to all of the archives. Come back next week, where we will be here Monday through Friday from noon to 1 on KLAV AM 1230, The Talk of Las Vegas. We had a great time. Hope you did too. We'll see you all next week, and enjoy the NASCAR weekend. Say goodbye, Miller.
Goodbye, but don't go poking any holes in any condom.
That's right.